I left some chunks of kale in there. It's a little treat for the microbiome. This is really yummy though.
It's not bad at all.
I should write down the recipe. I can call it like pond sludge smoothie.
You write down recipe?
In my brain. So I have not made a video about anyone else in a long time because mostly I just don't want to watch other people's videos. Did I say that? I'm kidding, of course. I watch tons of videos, but I only watch videos that are actually informative or interesting. Okay, stop being a dick. This is why I don't do videos about other people. I just can't help but be a dick about it. Stick to the script, Lillian. Okay, so Kalel is a girl. That's funny because her video says that she's a man, but stop it. Not gonna go well. So Kalel is a pretty popular YouTuber and she has been a long time vegan, and I've been, you know, pretty stoked to have her on board because she's like consistent, and you know, her what I eat in a day videos seem to reach a lot of people, so that's wonderful. Unfortunately, in her last few videos she's indicated that she's going to go back to eating animal products at the advice of a functional medicine doctor because she reports over the last year or two her health has really started to go downhill. She's had a lot of symptoms like really bad brain fog and fatigue, dry skin, she says her hair is falling out, and just generally feeling like crap is what it sounds like. So first of all, I think it's really important to address that a lot of naturopaths, functional medicine doctors, whatever you want to call them, they have a tendency of making a lot of money off of hypochondriacs. There are a lot of people in the world that feel like crap all the time. It's because we live in a very, very unhealthy world. And a lot of those people cannot be helped by standard doctors, and so they go looking for other solutions. And that's where these functional medicine doctors, these naturopaths, alternative medicine, whatever, get involved. So what I've noticed from my own experience with these types of doctors and from hearing about the experiences of a lot of other people is that what tends to happen with these types of doctors is that they get patients who have a lot of general, kind of mysterious, difficult to diagnose symptoms. These doctors then use either independent labs that they receive commission from, or they use their own in-house lab testing, which they make money off of, to run a lot of, generally speaking, very expensive lab tests that are, generally speaking, not FDA approved because they've never been proven to be effective or reliable. And then they use the results of those lab tests to diagnose conditions that may or may not even be accepted by modern medicine. They then use that diagnosis to sell their patient hundreds of dollars of supplements, more lab tests, and then they give them, generally speaking, low carbohydrate dietary recommendations. From Kalel's video, it sounds like she walked away with a diagnosis of imbalanced hormones and candida, which is what virtually everyone who goes to a naturopath is diagnosed with. I'm not saying that these kind of medical practitioners don't have any kind of value, but what I am saying is that it's really, really easy to get swept into this alternative medical mill where you're just exposed to test after test after test, and you're shoveling in supplements 18 times a day, and before you know it, your diet is restricted to virtually nothing, and you just keep getting sicker. And this is, in my opinion, because these doctors are not good at catching the low-hanging fruit, also known as some really simple, really obvious reasons that people might not be feeling well. Now, obviously, I'm not Kalel. I'm not her doctor. Don't know the girl personally. Just going off of the small amount of information that she puts on the internet. But just from that small amount of information, I can see a lot of low-hanging fruit. So first and foremost, Kalel has reported that it has been over the last year or two that she has not been feeling well, and that is the same time frame in which she has gotten multiple cosmetic surgeries. Now, obviously, Kalel and I have some different strategies for dealing with our feelings of inadequacy. When I don't feel good about my looks, I take 2 steps back from the mirror, my nearsightedness kicks in, and I honestly think I look great. For better or worse, Kalel deals with it in a different way. So in the last couple of years, she's had 2 nose jobs, a chin implant, a bunch of small procedures like lip fillers and dental veneers, and most importantly, she had breast augmentation. First of all, with these surgeries, anesthesia is a big deal. I don't think people really think about the chemical cocktail that we get injected with, and then we go into surgery, we get cut open. It's a huge stress and strain. Second, I am not sure why this didn't come up in Kalel's extensive research, but breast implant illness. These are the top symptoms: fatigue, brain fog, hair loss, dry skin, and hormone imbalances. Breast augmentation illness appears to be something that happens to a fair amount of women who get breast implants. And apparently it usually resolves if the implants are removed. So what's more likely? That this girl has a fungal infection that's usually reserved for terminal cancer and AIDS patients? Or that the foreign objects that are sitting underneath her chest wall are causing symptoms? In addition to the cosmetic surgeries, Kalel also did, in her words, a quote-unquote very, very, very intense round of accutane, which is a really potent drug that the manufacturers actually just went ahead and took off the market because of all of the horrible side effects that are associated with it. You can still get the generic version of the drug, just not the brand name. So depression, another one of Kalel's symptoms, is really, really, really common with use of this drug. And I've done a video about accutane and whether or not it's even smart to use it for getting rid of acne. I'll link it up above. But like, long story short, this is a really potent drug and it really messes your body up. I mean, when you're on Accutane, you have to go in and get blood tests regularly to make sure that your liver isn't failing. And like Kalel mentioned in her video, you are legally obligated to stay on hormonal birth control pills for the duration of your treatment because this is so dangerous to fetuses. And hormonal birth control has an effect on our natural hormone balance too. The next bit of low-hanging fruit that I see here is the stress and the perfectionism. Kalel is a self-proclaimed obsessive perfectionist. I say this as a more or less recovering perfectionist, someone who really struggles with feeling so desperately inadequate and so scared that that inadequacy is going to ruin my life. And as someone who deals with those feelings, and as someone who is a chronic freaker outer, like, I can freak out about anything I put my mind to. The effect that has on our health, especially our hormonal health, is profound. The constant internal stress and exposure to cortisol just erodes everything in the body that is good and healthy and holy. I've never found a more cortisol triggering thought than I'm not enough, and I'll never be enough, and I will never be loved or seen or safe or valued. Try living with that. Try outrunning that thought for 10 years and let me know how your hormonal health is. It will not be good. And finally, because she brought it up, we can talk about her diet. Whenever you think or talk about someone else's diet, always remember that no matter what they say, no matter what you see them do, no matter what they profess, you have no idea what someone else eats. You have no idea how they eat, when they eat, how they try to purge what they ate. So many people have eating disorders. So many people. I'm tempted to say everyone, but I won't. So I have no idea what Kalel actually eats. I have no way of knowing what kind of nutrition she got. What I do know is that she is a self-professed junk food vegan, for at least the first few years of her veganism. Was she supplementing appropriately with the B12s? And I mean, if you're a junk food vegan, like, consider taking a multivitamin, just because otherwise you're completely screwing yourself. And I don't know if the multivitamin will totally save you from that, but hey, at least maybe it's something. The meals that I see in the What I Eat in a Day videos, you know, sometimes they're pretty good. I've noticed quite a few meals that are a little bit more based on like processed food. I have noticed that the portions are, generally speaking, always quite small. I would also like to note that over the years that I've watched Kalel's videos, I have never identified her as being on a particularly low-fat diet. She has always eaten more dietary fat than I have ever felt good eating. I know that when my dietary fat increases to the levels that she, generally speaking, consumes, I end up with blood sugar regulation issues, a lot of breakouts, and hormonal disturbances. I don't see a ton of leafy greens or veggies. I mean, you guys know I eat like a trough full of vegetables every day, and it's the best. And virtually every scientist that has studied the gut microbiota, or the collective ecological system that is inside our intestines, strongly agrees that the most important nutrients to support gut health are dietary carbohydrates, like fibers and resistant starches. Excess dietary fats and proteins are not shown to support gut health. And like, I don't want to be the asshole that rags on other vegans and picks apart their diet, but in the last 10 years of kicking around YouTube, I have witnessed so many people, self-professed, dedicated, ethical vegans, eating completely inadequate vegan diets, no leafy greens, very few legumes, very few vegetables, and after a few years of telling the diet police to get off my back, I eat whatever I want, you have orthorexia, boom, I'm deficient. I don't feel well. I haven't felt well for a while. I need to listen to my body, and my body is asking me for animal products. Just sitting here right now, I can think of at least 2 super cute little blonde vegan YouTubers who will, I would hazard to bet, give up veganism within the next, let's say, 6 months to 2 years because they're deficient and they don't feel well and they have some kind of mystery illness. And it's going to be disappointing when they go, because if they had just eaten calorically sufficient diets, or diets that weren't based on like vegan Taco Bell or cucumbers and tahini, they probably would have been fine. But no, instead everyone's selling mushroom elixirs. And so now I'm sad. I hate the thought of people not feeling well, beating themselves to a pulp about the tiniest imperfections. Such a waste of life. She says she neurotically puts lip balm on her tiny lips. You know, veganism has seen such amazing growth in popularity, and there are so many vegan products out there now. It makes it really convenient to be vegan, but it's never the most convenient choice to eat a wisely planned, healthful, adequate vegan diet. And I really worry because so many people come to veganism and they see these really big vegan channels like Kalel's, and they're just getting these representations of nutritionally inadequate diets. I'm not being the diet police here. Our nutritional choices have consequences. I just want people to be aware of those consequences as they make choices about the way that they're gonna feed themselves and their families. I mean, if I ate one of Kalel's What I Eat in a Day videos, I'd feel like shit too. Maybe that's a little bit of a dickish thing to say, but it's also true. lunchtime. I'm sorry, I just can't stop. But I am going to take the supplements that I have decided are necessary for me. You guys know I take this B12 methylcobalamin spray. You want some spray?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And the algae omegas. And I'm going to enjoy this beautiful, nutrient-dense whole plant food lunch. Potatoes, a literal rainbow of vegetables, black beans, a little bit of nutritional yeast, some walnuts. Oh gosh, you guys. I attempted to make my own kimchi, and it's interesting, but I'm pretty sure if any Korean person got anywhere near to it, they would be like, I don't know what the f that is, but it's not kimchi. And of course, a little bit of my favorite sweet chili sauce at the moment. Okay, nooch and walnuts. Hello. This is good. What's in your mouth?
You got some cilantro in your mouth.
Lasagna. All right, so I'm going to finish off this giant piece of lasagna, and this may very well be all that I eat for today. If I get hungry after dinner still, I might have some more lentils, because I have like lentils and tomato sauce and kale mixture. And if you guys want this recipe for the lasagna, it's on an older 6 tablespoon recipe. This one is lentils, some marinara sauce, a tofu ricotta with plenty of kale hiding in there. I don't know if you can see it. And gluten-free noodles. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, make better choices for yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you. And take really, really good care. I will see you guys very soon. Bye! That looks terribly unappetizing. You want to see what happened when I took a shower this morning? This is what happened. This comes out of my head every day. Yes, I have thought about keeping it and making a doll. A tiny felted lily. My hairball and I are gonna go find some nutritionally adequate food. Eat your veggies to be healthy every day. I don't feel insecure about the size of my lips. Not at all. Someone once told me that it's our imperfections that make us beautiful. I said, yeah, maybe for you. And then I ruined my own life. JK, lol, see you at lunch.